Test.
Thank you.
Okay, you ready? We're gonna go live in just a second. And so you want to read that? You all right? You read the introduction? Yeah. You ready? Tell the school the color, the theme. They're already live. They're already live on there. You can hear everything he's saying. So when you start talking, I got a microphone down right now. You ready? This mic will always be live, so I'll pick up the voice from my okay? We broadcast live through. Also, we broadcast live through Spreaker. Get your break. I'm not gonna do it live. I'm gonna do it all the time. So I had to say that again. But you notice. I'll start off by saying good evening. Nice contest. Well, I ain't gonna say that. I'll say it later. Well, you want to say that? What you gonna say? Tell me what you gonna say. Well, I kind of get it. Yeah. 5 minutes. You got 6 minutes right now. Exactly 5 minutes.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Jonesboro, Georgia, where tonight's matchup will be the 0-2 Mundy's Mill Tigers against the 0-2 Mount Zion Bulldogs. This ball game has been brought to you by the Georgia Media Network Services. As for the visiting Mount Zion Bulldogs, they are under the head coach of Dwayne Davis. They're coming into tonight's ball game on a 2-game losing streak, losing at Jonesboro to start off the season, 16-8. Then they lost again last week to Stars Mills, 35 to absolutely nothing. They are ranked 335th in the state. As for the hometown team, Mundy's Mills, they are head coached by James Buster Davis. They too are riding a 2-game losing streak. They lost to Glovejoy 38-7. Then last week they lost at Pebblebrook in Mableton 40-13. So the ideal for both teams is get a win. Leave out of here with a win, and that is the objective. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I am Anton Harp, joined by my partner, Dennis Thomas. He will have the play-by-play, and I will fill in the gaps in between as we are approaching the coin toss. Mundy's Mills, they are rocking the orange shirts, or orange jerseys with the orange pants. As for Mount Zion, they are wearing their real whites with the dark blue pants. Light crowd, not because both teams are on a 2-game losing streak, but because of the pandemic. Everybody everywhere is dotting the I's and crossing the T's accordingly.
Well, Anthony, good evening for another evening of football. Just want to say it's a great afternoon. Weather's probably right in the right at 60, the high 60s, close to 70 degrees out here. It's perfect weather in Hampton, Georgia for football here at Clayton County 12 Oak Stadium. My name is Dennis Thomas, and I'll be doing the play-by-play, of course, with my partner Anthony right here. We're going to try to give you the best wrap-up of what's going on here. I welcome all the fans in tonight. Gates are just opening up and probably been open about 30 minutes now. We got fans kind of coming to the ball game. And here comes the Tigers are coming through their banner onto the field. Awesome. I want to remind you folks that they're still due to the coronavirus. From my understanding that the teams are having, each player has 4 tickets to give out to each family member. You can have any family member or anybody you want to give. You got 4 tickets each, and the stands are socially distanced, marked off, and I think they're 6 feet apart. No one's behind you, no one beside you. So it's a great layout here. We got about less than a minute for kickoff right here at 12 Oak Stadium. And what do you think about it?
Both teams, they want to get out of here with a win. Speaking with the Bulldogs head coach, James Buster Davis, spoke with him moments before the game, and he told me that in order to win tonight's game, they have to manage what they can control and don't make mistakes. So manage what they control and don't make mistakes. So pretty much the ball is in their court based off to determine can they get out of here with a win. As we are set to rock and roll, the Bulldogs of Mount Zion, they are kicking off. So
the Bulldogs will be kicking off to the south of the field. Number 10, Brett Tariq. I'm going to spell it correctly. Brett's going to be kicking off deep for the Mundy's Mill. Can you use that number, Brett? Like number 2, Corey Brown's going to be the deep guy for the Tigers. Kickoff short kick, onside kick, real short, rolls across the line. Looks like the Tigers fell on the ball.
Hold on, did we see something like that this past Sunday?
Something just like that with the Falcons. Somebody had an idea in mind.
Yeah, so I'm guessing that the Tigers saw that game and the analysis after it because yeah, they was a lot closer to the ball than what we saw Sunday.
Right, exactly.
In a football game that the Falcons really never should have lost, which is, or maybe it's just me, but you notice that the Falcons, they don't win in the state of Texas. Have you noticed that?
Exactly. Hey, First and 10 for the Tigers, going to be at the Bulldogs 49-yard line. Quick thrower, number 19 throws it to his left. Ball's complete. Picks up about 5-6 yards on the play. DeJuan Springer is the quarterback for the Tigers. Second and 6 for the Tigers. 2 receivers to his right, 2 to his left. 1 back in the backfield. Look downfield, throws. Pass is incomplete, overthrown to his receiver to the left. Going to bring up a 3rd down and 7 for the Tigers. Tigers split with 3 receivers out to the right and 2 to his left. Springer's in the shotgun. Ball is snapped. He looks to his right, throws it over. Bulldogs are right on it. Looks like going to be a loss on the play.
Yeah, that was a screen in the flat near side to the right. And the Bulldogs secondary, they did a good job of sniffing that out right away.
No gain on the play. Actually, they lost 4 yards, so it's going to make it 4th down and 10. So it looks like the Tigers are going to punt.
Or will they punt?
Yeah, they set for the punt. Ball is snapped. Kick, short kick, goes out of bounds close to the Bulldogs 30-yard line.
Okay, so what we've seen out of the special team unit, we have to keep our eyes peeled for any form of trickery, because it's not often that you see a short squib kick to start off a game.
Yeah.
And that's what we had just seen to start the game for the Bulldogs, who are now getting their first offensive drive of the game started at their own 30-yard line.
Okay, the Bulldogs take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Quarterback Bulldog, Tariq Brett, hands off to the fullback, goes up the middle, breaks the tackle, still going. Finally touched close to their own 35-yard line.
That was by Houston Harris, who is listed on the depth chart, a defensive back / wide receiver, but he had a run up the middle. He simply put his head down and ran, and then towards the tail end of the play, he crawled for about 1 to 2 more yards to make it a 2nd and short coming up.
2nd and 1 for the Bulldogs on their own 34-yard line. Ball snap, hand off to the fullback, takes over the right side of the tackle, picks up 1st down and a little more.
That was a good play, running up the gut.
1st down.
So what is the common thing pertaining to winning a game? Running the ball and stopping the run. And what we're seeing from the Bulldogs off their first 2 plays of possession is running the ball.
1st and 10 for the Bulldogs, close to their own 40-yard line. Brett takes a snap, hands it off to his running back. He drops the ball. Fumble. Looks like the Tigers might have picked it off. The official signal the Tigers are going to take over.
It was tough to tell as to what had happened there, but clearly there was a disconnect between the quarterback and the halfback. So if you really want to point the finger at somebody, lean more towards the halfback, because he bobbled the ball, and the Tigers, they almost came away with it. So now they got knocked back a few yards.
Tigers 1st and 10 at the Bulldogs 49-yard line. 39, I'm sorry. Hands off to the running back, goes up the middle. Hard run over the right side tackle. Picks up about 5-6 yards on the play.
Yeah, see, if you're the head coach for Mount Zion, this is not what you want. First of all, your first possession was in your own territory, and then 3 snaps later on a soft pitch in the backfield, you made a mistake, and that's something that the coach does not want tonight.
Springer hands off to the middle. Blitz on, no gain on the play. It's going to be 3rd and 5, 3rd and 6 for the Tigers. Ball is going to be placed at the Bulldogs 30-yard line. Bulldogs had one receiver to the right, one to his left. Springer's in the backfield, one back in the backfield. Ball snap. Bash takes it to the right field. Number 24 runs hard. I think he's going to be still short of a first down.
That was Ethan Hunter, the linebacker with the tackle, who snuffed that out and was in hot pursuit of the runner. That was a gain of 5. It's going to be 4th down.
Jalen Grant on the carry of that play.
So do you go for it?
Number 24. So it's 4th down and 1 for the Tigers. They're going for it. One back in the backfield, one receiver to his right, number 24 out left. Fakes to the middle. Quarterback keeps it, tries to run. The defense sniffed it out, no gain to play, and he won't get the first down on that play.
Yeah, that was a good bounce back defensive effort for the Bulldogs. That was Evante Montgomery as well as Joshua Brooks tag teaming for the tackle in the backfield, a trick play that did not go anywhere. So really, after a quick turnover on downs for the Bulldogs, it's almost as if that turnover on the first possession never happened. So all is well for the Bulldogs thus far.
1st and 10 for the Bulldogs on their own 30-yard line. They have 3 receivers to the right, 2 to the left. Quarterback in the shotgun. Those to his right. Pass complete. Picked up about 3 to 4 yards on that play. Looks like 4 yards.
Yeah, Cameron Barnes, the linebacker who was playing zone, with the stop there.
Tariq Brett. Is that Tariq? That's how you pronounce that first name. I want to make sure I'm pronouncing it right. Last name is Brett, the quarterback for the Bulldogs.
Until I'm told otherwise, I'm going with Tyreek, but that's the first.
Tariq Brett, okay.
Yeah, that's his first spelling of Tyreek, where I see 2 A's in it.
2nd and 6 for the Bulldogs. Ball is snapped. Quarterback keeps, runs up the middle, wide open. First down and more. Past midfield. That's a nice run by the quarterback on that one.
Yeah, that was Anton Green with the tackle. But Mr. Brett, he just took the snap and then ran right up the middle. That was some Mike Vick type stuff.
Takes it up to about the Tigers' 48-yard line. It's going to be 1st and 10 for the Bulldogs at the Tigers' 48-yard line. Tigers have 3 receivers to the left and 1 to the right. Correction, Bulldogs have 3 receivers to the left and 2 to the right. He takes the quarterback keep again, goes right back up the middle. Moving around, takes outside. He's still scrambling. He's still moving. Of eluding tacklers. Short gain on that one.
Yeah, he eluded about 4 to 5 different defenders for the Tigers, and kudos to the defensive lineman who was hot on the trail and did not lose track of Brent, who for the second drive of this game for the Bulldogs are just simply taking matters into his own hands.
Picked up 2 yards on that play. It's going to be 2nd and 8 for the Bulldogs. Balls on the Tigers' 46-yard line. Ball is snapped. Tariq looked downfield, straight to his left. Flag on the play. Ball pass complete. Close to the 40-yard line, but that's a flag on the play.
That was DeMario Sewell who made the catch for the Bulldogs, and then for the Tigers, that was Joshua Brooks with the tackle, as it's going to be a holding call on the Bulldogs, so they're going to take some steps back and redo it again.
They're going to repeat 2nd down with about 20 yards. That's more than that. Officials still moving backwards deep into Bulldogs territory. It's a holding. So it looks like 2nd and 30, 25, 30 yards. So it's a lot of yards.
Yes, philosophically speaking, they took 15 steps forward but took 30 steps back.
Exactly. The ball is placed on the Bulldogs 36-yard line. 2nd down. 3 receivers to the left, 2 to his right. Brett's in the shotgun, looks downfield, scrambles to his right, takes off running, being chased out of bounds, close to the marker.
Anthony Griffin blitzing from the weak side, came around the corner and was hot on the trail and ended up being rushed out of bounds by Noriko Danner, the defensive back. So now it's going to be 3rd down and infinity. Bulldogs, they have to get the ball into Tigers territory to the 38-yard line.
3rd down and infinity. I mean, that's a long ways to go, right?
Just a little bit, just a little bit. It's more than 10 yards, that's for sure. What I do not want to see here is any form of trickery, any form of a rush. A screen, maybe, but be aggressive early on.
Bulldogs has 3 with players to his right, 2 to his right, 3 receivers to the left, 2 to his right. Single in the shotgun, looks downfield, takes off running to his left, keep looking downfield like he sees someone. Decided to take it himself. Short gain on the play, keeps it in bounds. Be 4th down.
So that was number 36 on the tackle. And kudos to the Tigers. They had like 5 to 6 defensive backs in the backfield, so the pickings were very slim.
4th down. Bulldogs going to punt. Kicks it. Ball's caught close to the 40-yard line of the Tigers.
That was Cameron Davis who made the punt return. So it seems like to start off the game with under 5 minutes to play, it is a battle of possession.
Battle of possession. The time is 4 minutes and 38 seconds left to go in the first quarter. Play score is still 0-0 right here at 12 Oak Stadium in Hampton, Georgia. The Tigers line up with 2 receivers to the right, 2 to the left, but back in the backfield. He throws it to the right side, has a receiver right there, ball tipped and incomplete.
Yeah, the intended receiver there was Jalen Grant. That was the intended receiver there. And then for the Bulldogs on the coverage, it was Keyshawn Ward, the defensive back.
2nd and 10 for the Tigers. Ball's on the 37-yard line of the Tigers. Ball is snapped. Fakes it, throws across the middle. Caught by Lyman. It was tipped, but it caught by Lyman.
Yeah, that was number 71.
But there goes the flag.
And somebody tipped that at the line of scrimmage for the Bulldogs, and number 71, the big fella, was right there.
I think he caught that. If he wouldn't have caught it, could have been easily picked off by the Bulldogs and ran back for a touchdown.
Again, both teams are coming into this game on a 2-game losing streak. And then both games that was lost really wasn't even close. So both teams, they want to get out of here with a win.
The officials are talking it over. Ineligible receiver. I'm sorry, false start on the offense. back it up 5 yards and repeat the down. So we're back to the 30-yard line for the Tigers.
So we are 1-1 in the penalty tally.
You keeping those stats, huh?
Got to, baby, got to.
Second down and 15 for the Tigers. Tigers had one receiver out to their right, number 7, one to the left. Quarterback takes the snap, but the center didn't snap the ball. He's kept moving his hand to snap it, but the center was holding on. So the official's going to signal a false start because everybody moves except for the center and the ball.
Yeah, that was supposed to be a trick play. That was a bad trick.
It looks like the Tigers are going in the wrong direction. They back them up another 5 yards.
So it is second down and infinity. The Tigers, in order for them to get a first down, they have to get all the way to their own 47-yard line.
Looks like second and 20. Ball's on the Tigers' 26-yard. Tigers hands off to the running back up the middle. Hit by a swarm of Bulldogs. Short gain on the play.
Yes, Harrison Houston, as well as Aaron Todd, was on the tag team tackle.
It'll be third down. Looks like he maybe picked up 1 yard on the play. Third down and 19.
I hope they be aggressive and throw the ball down the field.
Well, they got 3 receivers out to the left and 1 to the right, back in the backfield. Springer takes the snap, looks downfield, throws across the middle. Got a receiver there. He had a defender on his back, and there's a flag on the play. Ball intended for
Jalen Grant was the intended receiver, but the penalty is going to go up against Yvonne Montgomery for the Bulldogs.
3 minutes and 28 seconds left to go in the first quarter play right here at 12 Oak Stadium. Still score 0-0. That's going to get some of it back. Let's see how close they get how many yards they can get back before getting the first down. Third down and it looked like 6 or 7 for the Tigers. Ball's placed on the 41-yard line. Springer throws across the middle, pass incomplete. It's going to be fourth down.
Yeah, that pass was too hot to handle. Anton Green was the intended receiver. And the punting unit now will come on. And going back to receive that kick is actually the starting quarterback, who is a wide receiver and a defensive back in Tyreek Brandt. So he's doing a little bit of everything this evening.
Yes, he is. Ball is snapped. Almost blocked. He gets it away. Rolls down the field. Gets by the 40 and continues to roll down past the 20-yard line to the 18-yard line. It's going to be stopped down by the Tigers at the 18-yard line. So the Bulldogs will take over first and 10 at their own 18-yard line. 3 minutes and 10 seconds left to go in this first quarter play. Both teams are going back and forth, but good defense tonight. Nobody's really, offense is not really doing a good job of moving the ball on the field. And it appears that both teams are moving backwards with penalties, heavy on penalties tonight.
Yes, and that's something that you do not want, especially when you haven't won a game all season long, which neither teams have won. So that kind of equals the playing field. But what you do not want to do is hurt yourself, and that's what both teams seem to be doing. As for the penalty tally, it is 3-1 Tigers.
First and 10. Bulldogs have 2 receivers to their right, 1 to the left. 2 backs in the backfield, hands off to the fullback, runs to the right side, close to the line of scrimmage. Like he might have gained a few on that play. It's going to be second and 8 from the Bulldogs 19-yard line.
20.
Bulldogs come to the line, quarterback's in the shotgun. Brent's in the shotgun, correction. Ball to snap. Looks, hands to the running back, coming up the middle. Hard run. Looks like the Tigers are playing good defense tonight. They're not giving up a whole lot of yards there.
Right, that is pretty much what the Bulldogs coach was telling me earlier before the game had started. And James Buster Davis, control what they can control. Manage what they can control, and don't hurt themselves with penalties. So if they believe that running the ball up the middle is their strong suit, why not? Just don't mess it up doing that.
3rd and 7 for the Bulldogs. Ball to snap. Brett keeps it to himself, kicks it to the right. Finds open field, cuts back to the right side of the field. He got speed. He's going. That's not received within 10 yards of him. 4, 20, 10, 5. Touchdown, Bulldogs. That was a great play by Brett. It's hard for me to pronounce that name. Tyreek Brett took off, went the distance, 80 yards for a touchdown for the Bulldogs. First touchdown for the Bulldogs.
I tell you what, we don't have his name listed on the roster, but number 44, he was the one that got. He was the victim on that play. If I'm him, I'm contemplating a excuse to get out of film study this upcoming week because he's going to get an earful from his teammates on that.
Wow. I see why they got Tariq. He's playing the return man and different things because when this guy broke through the line of scrimmage and he got nothing but field, he just left everybody in the tracks. I mean,
most definitely.
He might have scored that touchdown with 20 yards between him and the next defender. Looks like they're going for 2 points on this play. Brett's in the shotgun. Got 3 receivers to the left, 2 to his right. Going for the extra point here. Man in motion coming back. Brett tries to keep it. Tries to go up the middle. The stop short by the Tigers. So 2-point conversion is no good. With 1 minute and 29 seconds left to go in the quarter play here at Schwab Stadium. Bulldogs 6, Tigers 0. Stand by. We'll be right back after this commercial break.
Georgia Media Network, a non-profit corporation in conjunction with Thomas Photography and The Mic is Hot, is offering free classes to students and seniors on how to start your own podcast or how to become a professional photographer. For more information on Georgia Media Network services coming to your school or organization, please contact Georgia Media Network at gmail.com or call 678-900-9840. Get your future started today.
Look like on the kickoff, the Bulldogs try to onside kick again, but this ball was short, so.
And number 17, Aaron Todd, he was the closest player to the ball, but because he was on the kicking team, he couldn't touch it. So now America knows what you need to do depending on who you are on an onside kick.
So the Tigers would take over 1st and 10 at the Bulldogs 47-yard line. Deep throw down the field, got a receiver wide open. And the Bulldogs had a hand on him, so it's going to be a flag on the play around the 20-yard line.
That was Anthony Griffin, the intended receiver, and that was Jordan Davis on the coverage. However, I won't say that was a replica of flopping. However, Griffin, he just extended his arm out last second, and even if he would have caught, I'm not sure that he necessarily would have caught that ball, but he sold it enough for the referees to see it, and then, got a penalty and it worked in their favor.
1st and 10 for Springer in the offense. Going to be at the Bulldogs' 31-yard line. Ball thrown across the middle of the field. Pass complete.
That was number 24, Jalen Grant. And then Aaron Todd with the tackle for the Bulldogs.
2nd down and 6 for the Tigers. Ball's hand off for the Millers, running back. Nice run. Picks up about 4 yards on the play.
That was Seth Gamble on the carry.
Be 2 yards short of the 1st down. Ball's close to the 20-yard line of the Bulldogs. Be 3rd down and 2 for the Tigers. 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Ball snap. Looks across the field, throws again. Looks like the same play. Pass incomplete this time.
That was Jalen Grant, the intended receiver, but that ball was too hot to handle. The second player that was in the area was Corey Barnes, but that was a laser. And that was a laser that was going through traffic.
4th down and 2 for the Tigers. They're going to go for it here. They got a tight set on the line here. Springer takes it, hands it off to his receiver to his left. He goes outside, running for the corner of the marker. Looks like he might have picked it up.
That was Grant again with another carry. Rushed out of bounds by Latrell Thomas, the Bulldogs defensive back.
It's going to be a 1st down. So the Tigers are on the move, but that's the end of the 1st quarter here. At the end of the 1st quarter, the score is 6. Tigers 6. Correction now. Bulldogs 6, Tigers 0. Well, what do you think about that 1st quarter play in?
I want to say the biggest play is obviously the touchdown run by wrong roster, by Tariq Brent, it was a huge play. He juked somebody, and if they submit it in time enough, it could be on ESPN top plays of the night, because number 44 for the Tigers, he practically spun around like a top. And that is a big boost, a confidence booster for this Bulldogs football team trying to get their first win of the season.
Okay, it's going to be 1st down and 10 for the Tigers. Going to be on the 20-yard line of the Bulldog. Ball is dropped. It's on the floor. Seems like the quarterback tried to hand off to his running back, and both of them looked at the ball. But luckily, the Tigers were able to get back on the ball. They're going to lose about 10 yards on that play, though.
Well, that's the good news out of the whole ordeal, is that they lost 10 yards out of that play that went south very fast.
Tigers close to the 25-yard line of the Bulldogs. It'll be 2nd down and 20. Ball is snapped. He throws, got a receiver downfield close to the end zone. He throws his hand up, incomplete. But there's a flag on the play.
Yeah, that was Joshua Gibson on the coverage. The intended receiver was Corey Barnes.
That was a nice pass by the one Springer, right on the fingertips. And I think if he wouldn't have been held, he probably would have called that for a touchdown.
No, I mean, the question is, was he held, though?
Only the officials know they're close enough to see it than we are.
Yeah, that is true.
So it must have been offset play, but they're going to replay 2nd down. There's another whistle. The officials stopped the action. Let's see what the call is. They're trying to figure out where they're going to put the ball, where would the ball originally at, where they're going to put it. Let's see, the Tigers are getting back in the huddle. The officials trying to figure out where the ball goes.
Other scores that's happening around the state. Ryan over Martin in the fourth quarter, 47-17. Alza Christian over FCA, 46 to absolutely nothing. That game is over.
So the official will move the ball down to the Bulldogs' 14-yard line. It's going to be second down and 3 for the Tigers. Ball is snap, handoff to the fullback. That's the Bulldog number 38 was right there when the ball was handed off. Didn't let it get many yards out. I think he picked up 1 yard on that play. It's going to be third down and 2 for the Tigers.
Yeah, number 38 is not identified, but yeah, he wasn't having none of that.
Third down and 2. Tigers have 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Springer takes it, gives it to the running back up the middle. Nice hard run. Looks close to a first down. First down. Nice hard run.
And this is the first drive for the Tigers in which they are inside the red zone. The ball is at the 11-yard line. You got to punch it in and tie. Early second quarter, you need to punch it in and tie.
10 minutes, 24 seconds left to go in the second quarter play here at 12 Oak Stadium in Hampton, Georgia. First down 10. Ball's close to the 10-yard line. There's a mix-up in the backfield. The ball is dropped. Looks like it's picked up by the Bulldog. Let's see. The Bulldog has it. Yeah, the back in the backfield like it was a crossing play, and they didn't know who was getting the ball. So
yes,
the ball hit the ground, and the Bulldogs picked it up.
Yeah, Jalen Grant and Christian Barnes were the 2 players in the backfield for the Tigers that collided, and they caused chaos and mayhem. And this time, that chaos and mayhem cost them for the first turnover of the evening.
Okay, it's going to be first down and 10 for the Bulldogs. Ball at their own 15-yard line. 2 receivers to his left and 2 to his right. Tariq Brett takes the snap, hands it off to his running back. Runs to his left, runs over his left side tackle. Short gain on the play.
Yeah, that was Harrison Houston, who had a problem because he was wrapped up in the backfield immediately by the Tigers' front lineman.
Second, they lost yards on that play. Second and 11 for the Bulldogs. Ball to snap. Hands it off to the running back. You know, the left side. He gets outside, picks up. One man to stop. One man pulls him down. Close to the 35-yard line. First down and more.
A huge tackling, saving touchdown by the defensive back.
It looks close. It looks like it was close to the same play. Ran a little differently, but anyway, it's going to be first down and 10 for the Bulldogs at their own 36-yard line. Brett takes a snap, hands off to the running back in, over to the outside again. This time the Tigers are not having it. Short game on the play.
Yes, Harrison Houston, he's been moving the ball down the field for the Bulldogs.
Second down and 8 for the Bulldogs. 8 minutes and 30 seconds in the first half of play. Score still Bulldogs 6, Tigers 0. Ball is snapped, hands off to his running back up the middle. Hard run, hard hit. Picks up about 5-6 yards on the play.
And that was Chad Bigman at number 31, among others, on the carry to try and take down Harrison Houston, who just completed his 3rd consecutive running play for the Bulldogs, making it 3rd and about 5.
.35 at the Bulldogs 41-yard line. The clock continues to run with 7 minutes and change. Ball is snapped. Looks, keeps it himself, runs on the left side, picks up the first down, close to the Tigers 40-yard line, goes out of bounds.
Yeah, number 17, defensive end for the Tigers. He got ran right by the quarterback, Tyreek Brent. And then ultimately he ended up getting rushed out of bounds to the far left, but by that time the damage was already done. So apparently the bread and butter for the Bulldogs thus far is the running game, which consists of Tyreek Brent as well as Harrison Houston.
There's a holding call on that play. Brings them all the way back. It's a nice run. Holding on the offense brings them back to their own, it's like 38-yard line. The Tigers work. Timeout on the field. Bulldogs gonna call timeout. Well, with 7 minutes and 12 seconds left to go in the first half of play. Bulldogs 6, Tigers 0. We'll be right back.
Would you like to start your own podcast or become a professional photographer? Just have your school or organization contact Georgia Media Network Services, a non-profit corporation, to get started. For more information, contact us at georgiamedianetwork@gmail.com or call 678-900-9840. Call and get your career started today.
Again, 7 minutes and 12 seconds left to go in the first half of play. Team return to the field. Looks like third down. Ball's close to the Bulldogs 40-yard line. Brent takes a snap, throws over to his running back to his left. Lose one tackle, but still stops short of a first down. It's going to be fourth down. Fourth down and 4 for the Bulldogs. Well,
fast-moving ball game because the clock really hasn't stopped much in the first half because the ball is being on the ground most of the time.
3 receivers to his right, 2 to his left. Brent takes snap, takes up the middle himself. Oh! got hit hard at the line of scrimmage on a 4th down.
Yeah, that was Jeremiah Pine with the one-hand sling around tackle. And that tackle looked like he had some, I won't say it was malicious, but it was an indication of, look, I done had enough of you ripping and running all over this field in the first half. Sit yourself down.
Tariq Brett is having a good day running the ball. But they're going to turn the ball over. It's going to be 1st down and 10 for the Tigers. They're going to take over in Bulldog territory, close to the 40-yard line. Springer takes a snap, looks downfield, throws across the middle, a little high, ball is incomplete.
The intended receiver there was Anthony Griffin, and on the coverage was Keyshawn Ward, the defensive back for the Bulldogs.
Second down and 10 for the Tigers. Ball is snap. Hands it to his running back to his left. Runs hard across the field, but short gain.
Yes, that was Jalen Grant with the run, and Ethan Hunter, the linebacker, with the tackle from behind. It's going to make it about 3rd down and about 6 or 7.
That is correct. 3rd down and 7. Ball's on the Bulldog 39-yard line. Oh, looks like movement. Somebody moved on the offense.
So I want to say we're about 2-2 with the penalty tally.
Keeping that penalty tally going.
Got to.
It's important in a game like this when it's a running ball game. It appears that the way things are going, the team that's going to have the less penalties will probably come out on top. 5 minutes and 20 seconds left to go in the first half of play. 3rd down and 12 for the Tigers. Brett looks downfield, got a receiver wide open. There's a flag on the play.
I question that.
He got sandwiched between 2 defenders.
Exactly, and that's why I question that. Because number 8, Anton Green, was the intended receiver. However, on the coverage was Evante Montgomery as well as Keyshawn Ward. I mean, you had 2 defensive backs on 1 wide receiver.
But Mr. Springer, I tell you, I'm having a hard time pronouncing that first name. Mr. Springer saw something open, and all of a sudden they had 2 receivers out. Obviously, this guys must be a pretty good receiver the way they cover it. They're going to take off 15 yards. They're not going to mark it to spot the foul. They'll take off 15 yards and give the Tigers a 1st down close to the Bulldogs 30-yard line.
Yes, kudos to the quarterback for the Tigers, DeJuan Springer.
There you go. I'll let you call his name out. I got the last name correct. 1st down and 10. Springer hands it up the middle to his running back, picks up a couple yards on that one.
That was Seth Gamble with the short carry.
I tell you what, the Tigers need to put the thing in the end zone before the first half is over. It's only a 6-0 lead right now. Still 4 minutes and 30 seconds left to go. Second down and 9 for the Tigers. All the snap, and Springer runs out to his right side, looks downfield, got a receiver. Those are little short passes, incomplete.
Had 2 receivers in the area, Anthony Griffin and Anton Green, both in the area, yet they were not able to make the catch. That was a low throwing ball in that direction.
Tigers will have a 3rd down and 9. Ball is placed close to the 30-yard line of the Bulldogs. 28 to be exact, 28-yard line to be exact. Clock stopped after that play. Mr. Springer scrambles in the backfield. Throws it up for grabs. Oh, that's a flag.
That was a very late flag. I mean, that was a quirky play from the beginning because Springer, he collided with his own man, Seth Gamble, in the backfield. He got chased down. He got wrapped up, but was able to throw up a prayer. And then for whatever reason, the defensive back for the Tigers jumped on the wide receiver's back.
Well, even though it appeared that the pass was uncatchable, the official still throws a flag because, I don't know, he jumped on his back early. But
jumped on his back early.
Well, maybe because the defender didn't turn around. He couldn't see the ball. Only thing he knows, the defender was, the receivers were going downfield. But anyway.
Oh, no, that ball was not catchable at all, but the Tigers defensive back just jumped on the receiver's back really for no reason. So
right.
To this point, that's the first and only penalty that I've actually agreed with the officials in terms of throwing.
15-yard penalty. Move the ball down 15-yard line for the Tigers. There's the same play on the left side of the field. Have a receiver in the end zone. Ball is caught. Touchdown, Tigers. Tigers has put some on the board.
Anton Green making the catch. It was a one-on-one coverage fake route by DeJuan Springer.
He was covered, but that was the perfect pass. He dropped it right in the bread sack. Let's see if Tigers are going to go for one.
Yep, that was Harrison Houston as well as Aaron Todd on the coverage.
Ball is kicked. Ball is blocked. The defense can pick it up. The official says no good. So, a long first half of play, 3 minutes and 28 seconds left to go in the first half. Mundy's Mill, Bulldogs 6. And, correction, Mundy's Mill, Tigers 6. And Mount Zion Bulldogs 6. I get my teams together. I'm listening to the guys in the background.
It happens.
That over talking me. Yeah.
It happens. I do not hold that against you.
I'm not getting the feedback, but both teams are Clayton County schools, so we're pretty familiar with the schools here. 3 minutes and 28 seconds again on the clock. Tigers are lining up to kick off from their own 40-yard line. Pretty tight, pretty close ball game so far.
Pretty tight, pretty close. Both teams, for the most part, are running the ball 80% of the time. As for the Tigers, they get set to kick off, and now my question is, are we going to see any trickery?
Well, we saw it before. Let's see what happens. He kicks it long. Caught at the 20-yard line by the Bulldogs. Turns to his right. Got a flag on the play?
That was Tyreek Brent, the man that's doing it all. Tackled by number 44.
Close to his own 30-yard line. That's not a flag. That's looks like a towel from one of the players. At first it looked like a flag on the play, but that was not a flag. So the Bulldogs will take over 1st and 10. Close to their own 30-yard line. There was a lot of running in the backfield. The receivers was on the left side, then they went to the right side. But they have two to the right, one to the left, running back in the backfield. Tyreek Brent takes a snap, runs to his left, reverses back to his right. He's scrambling. He's moving backwards toward the goal line. He's still scrambling, runs to his left-hand side. Tackle out of bounds. I think he should have thrown that one away. Would have saved a lot of yards. I think he lost about 25 yards scrambling in the backfield on that play.
Yeah, that was Christian Holloway who eventually came up with the tackle, but there is a flag on the field, likely for a late hit on the opposite side of the field. But it seemed as though there was mad confusion way before the ball even stopped, and it's going to be a face mask against the Tigers. And that's good news if you're the Bulldogs, because there seemed to be mad confusion way before the ball even snapped.
Right. Like I said, this is good for the Bulldogs, because if not, they would have been, ball would have been back close to their own 10-yard line.
I've done something like that on Madden. You know, you're getting blitzed, and so you just run back 20, 30, and 40 yards. You know, you move to the left, move to the right. You know, you do that about 4 or 5 times, then you run upfield just to gain 12 yards for a first down.
Well, this ain't mad. This is the real thing. So,
exactly.
you know, I think some of the defensive guys run a little faster. But the Bulldogs were lucky on this one. They only lost 1 yard, so it's going to be first down. They can replay it down. First down and 11, close to their own 25-yard line. Ball snap, hand off to the running back up the middle. Hit. Excuse me. Picks up 4 or 5 yards on that one.
That was Harrison Houston with the coverage, with the running of the ball, which he has been very productive with the ball running, him and his quarterback as well. They've just been running the ball, so it's almost as if it has been a 1-2 punch thus far.
2nd and 8 for the Bulldogs. Hand off to the running back again to his left side. Breaks tackles, picks up a first down and some. Nice run.
Number 75, Jeremiah Fan, he makes the tackle, but it was well after the first down was made. So the chains continue to move, and we got a timeout on the field. It's going to be on Monday's Meals. They burnt their first timeout of the first half.
That's a nice run by Bernardo. Bernardo's having several yards. We don't know the stats on him right now, but he's had several good plays. Broke one earlier of the field. So Bernardo has a nice run by the Bulldogs. Well, we got 2 minutes and 16 seconds left to go in this first half of play right here at Clayton County Public Schools in Hampton, Georgia. It's going to be the Mount Zion Bulldogs taking on the Mundy's Mill Tigers. As officials calling the players back to the field. Normally you don't hear cheerleaders like we hear tonight because there's not many people in the stands, but the cheerleaders are here.
Now, if they yell not loud enough, typically you can't hear them, but tonight you can hear them loud and clear.
First and Brady finds a receiver over the middle, throws a pass complete. Out past the 40-yard line. Nice pass by Tariq Brent.
Yeah, that was Ethan Hunter with the catch. And Corey Barnes for the Tigers, the defensive back with the tackle. And that's actually kind of something that I would like to see a little bit more of. Throw the ball down the field.
They got less than 2 minutes to go in the quarter, so they got to throw more because the running game, it doesn't appear to be working right now. So it'll be 1st and 10 for the Bulldogs. It's going to be at their 35-yard line of the Tigers. Ball is snap. Brent hands off to number 8. Running back up the middle. Breaks a tackle. 10, 5. Close to the 1-yard line. Nice run. Bernardo has, like I said before, that was running back number 2, Bernardo. Nice run. All the way down to the 1-yard line of the Tigers.
Yeah, that's right. Noah Bloodworth made the carry, and you said that the running game really hasn't been working. Nah, they just decided to mix it up. That running game has been working like a well-oiled machine for the Bulldogs for the first half.
I think the coach saw something on the sideline. I think the Tigers were set up more for a passing game because it was the time on the clock. But the coach saw something. Bernardo's been running pretty good most of the game. That was a big play. Mr. Keaton Bernardo, number 2 for the Bulldogs. running back's number 2. Number 2. Okay, first and 10. First down and 2 for the Bulldogs. Hands it off again. And Bernardo, touchdown. Touchdown. Oh, I had to scream. Touchdown Bulldogs. Now, close 1 minute and 33 seconds left to go in the first half. We got a spike, and the Bulldogs going to line up for 2. Brett's in the shotgun. Bernardo, running backs behind him. They take a look at the sideline, watch the coach. See, they're going to call timeout, I believe. Call timeout on the field. Well, when you got to strike the irons where the irons are hard, it looks like right now the Bulldogs are on the road, so why not go for 2? You're down by 2 extra points.
Yes, and I want to stand corrected and apologize. I've been seeing Colin Harrison, Houston's name all first half, and actually it is Keaton Bernardo, number 2, who's been doing a lot of the running along with quarterback Tyreek Brent. So I want to apologize for calling out the wrong numbers, which means I got to get my glasses checked.
It's not the glasses, man. These numbers are sometimes hard to see on the field when you're looking at, the way the numbers are. The Bulldogs have on white jerseys with dark colored numbers, and I had to look at that twice myself. But I said this cat's been moving. It looks like the teams are coming back onto the field. Mr. Brent is going to be in shotgun, and Mr. Keaton Bernardo, the running back, is going to be behind him. Could be a running play, could be a passing play. What do you think? Fakes the handoff. Brent keeps it, takes it to the left side. 2-point conversion is no good.
2-point conversion was no good. Stopped in the backfield by number 2, Corey Barnes, the defensive back who snuffed that out.
I think the good thing is neither team has scored an extra point, so this shouldn't be a factor in the ballgame. If it comes down to touchdown, both teams have scored touchdowns and no extra point. The difference is the Bulldog has scored 2 touchdowns, which they lead the ballgame right now, 12-6, with 1 minute and 33 seconds left to go in the first half of play right here at 12 Oaks Stadium in Hampton, Georgia.
All right, so we got 3 touchdowns scored. Bulldogs, they scored the first 2. The first touchdown they went for a PAT that failed. Then their second PAT, it was blocked. And then you got the Tigers here. They didn't kick a field goal. So my question is, at this point, what's going on with the kicking game? Because God forbid you need a field goal to win the game.
Yes. Did you expect a onside kick here at the Bulldog lineup? I say we've seen two onside kicks early in the game.
We have seen 2 thus far. I say no.
It's a swivel kick, but it's caught by the Tigers at their 45-yard line. It's going to be a short kick. It wasn't a real kick.
So what's
off.
that, half and half? Half and half?
Yeah, it was into the second lineup of the return team.
I'm just glad none of the Tigers got away from the ball.
Right. I think what the Tigers were doing, they was trying to prevent a run back. You know, if you kick the ball deep, we know the quarterback and some of the other receivers, if they broke through, you could always have a run. They could run it back.
Yeah, but on the flip side, you got the Tigers. They got good field territory, a good field position.
One in the shotgun, he looks to his left. He got 3 receivers out there. Got some open field. Throws it deep again. Got number 24 downfield. Whoa! He's hit by number 17 of the Bulldogs, and there's going to be a flag on the play.
The intended receiver was Jalen Grant, and for the 3rd time this evening, Aaron Todd, the defensive back for the Bulldogs, was called for a passing interference.
Wow.
That's number 3 for him.
That's going to be, let's see if they're going to give him 15 yards. They're going to mark the spot to foul.
And looking at those penalties, if Todd would have fell back and just let it be incomplete, because the thing about these passing interference for Todd is that the plays wasn't catchable, the pass wasn't catchable. So all he had to do was just fall back and just let the ball hit the turf.
Right. They marked out 15 yards, so they didn't mark it the spot to foul. So Tigers will take over at their own 40-yard line. Pass complete and close to the first down marker where he gets out of bounds to stop the clock.
Corey Barnes with the catch, and Latrell Thomas, the defensive back, forcing Barnes out of bounds.
1 minute, 14 seconds left to go in the first half of play. Second down and 2 for the Tigers. I expect more of those passing plays. At least they got to get the ball out of bounds. Well, they got plenty of time on the clock. Let's see what happens. They got 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. 1 back in the backfield. DeJuan Springer in the shotgun. Takes his ball, looks downfield, throws it deep again. Got a receiver down there wide open. Ball is caught. Touchdown. Touchdown Tigers. That looks so familiar from the last time they scored.
Yes, sir, and that was Corey Barnes with
Let's see what we got here.
with the touchdown.
And a flag's on the play.
That was either Thomas or Hunter on the coverage.
And a flag is on the play. So they're going to repeat second down. That was a nice play. The receiver's wide open. I anticipate something similar to that play again coming up, if not the same play. They're going to back him up about 5 yards, so it's going to be second and 7 for the Tigers. Still 1 minute and 7 seconds left to go in the first half of play. That's still plenty of time on the clock.
With 2 timeouts left as well.
2 timeouts, okay. 2 receivers to his right, 2 to his left. DeJuan's in the shotgun. Takes a snap, looks downfield again. Throws it again, same play. Receiver's wide open, he's right there. Ball goes between his hands, incomplete. Like I said, I anticipated something similar, and that was the same play.
Yep, that was Kamarian Collins. First time we're calling his name this evening on the coverage. But yeah, that was a good play down the field. Corey Barnes was the intended receiver there, who had just caught a touchdown pass that was nullified by a penalty.
Corey Barnes is a tall player. Corey, number 7, number 2. Also Anthony Griffin, they're 2 tall receivers there out to the right. He snaps, looks again, throws it across the middle. Pass intended for Mr. Barnes.
That was an excellent tip by Joshua Brooks. He timed the swap perfectly and no penalty. So the ball gets knocked down, the clock stops, and again, both teams have 2 timeouts.
4th down and 8. Looks like the Tigers are going to punt. Ball's on close to the 35-yard line of the Bulldogs. Ball's punted away, punts close to the sideline to get it out of bounds. Looks like it goes out of bounds close to the 15-yard line. Still 42 seconds on the clock left in this first half of play here at 12 Oak Stadium. Mount Zion Bulldogs, Mundy's Mill Tigers. Score is 12, Mundy's Mill. Now Bulldogs 12, Tigers 6. So the Bulldogs will take over. So the ball, they're gonna move it up close to the 20-yard line. Let's see what the Bulldogs come with now. They threw a long pass downfield before, and they had a couple of big plays to put them in scoring position last time. Let's see what they're gonna come up with this possession. They got plenty of time on the clock. As long as they get the ball out of bounds.
I say be aggressive. Be aggressive.
Tariq Brent in the shotgun. There's 2 receivers to his right, 1 to his left, 1 back in the backfield. Mr. Bernardo in the backfield behind Brent. As he fakes it, looks downfield, throws across the middle, got a receiver wide open. Picked off by the Tigers. Tigers coming back at the field. The 10, the 5, the 4. Touchdown. Wait a minute, the officials calls it out of bounds right at the 1-yard line. It was very, very close.
That was Corey Barnes, so apparently he's catching passes on offense and defense. A tackling, saving touchdown by the quarterback, Tyreek Brent.
Very, very close. I looked at the replay on that one, and that was a nice play right across the middle. He just jumped the route and picked it off and ran it back to the 1-yard line. So it is 23 seconds left to go in the game, and the Tigers get a second chance to take the lead in this ball game.
And I was just going to say, for the Tigers, who was supposed to be going from left to right, the Bulldogs from left to right, I was going to say what you want to do is you get the ball back in to start off the second half. What you want to do is, if anything, kick a field goal to increase your lead, because you don't want to give the Tigers any form of momentum of getting back into the game for the second half.
Right.
Put as many points on the board in the first half to give yourself some cushion. Just don't be the Atlanta Falcons and blow the cushion. So apparently the Atlanta Falcons, they are the punchline for this evening.
I'll tell you, you make a lot of quotes toward Atlanta Falcons with the onside kick and things like that. But
I mean,
I mean, it seems like the coaches took a look at that tape and saw what happened. Maybe they figured that we can catch somebody off guard the same way our team, the Atlanta Falcons, got caught off guard. Anyway, I'm a Falcons fan, so I'm not going to. I was a little hurt over that one, but, you know, it is what it is.
A little hurt? That's an understatement. I saw the replay of how that thing happened. I said to myself, it's going to be salty in the streets.
First and 10. Quarterback said the ball was dropped. Fumble on the play. Let's see what happens. Looked like a misconnection on the snap there.
And then the quarterback springs. He got popped. I heard it all the way up here.
Wow. Looked like he didn't catch the snap. They recovered. Goes for it again. Quarterback sneak. Push to the middle. Touchdown. Touchdown, Tigers. That's 2 quarterback sneaks in a row. 13 seconds. But the clock got to stop now.
Yeah, the clock should have stopped at 13 seconds, not 11.
Looks like this game is tied so far. Remember we said earlier, neither team converted an extra point on two touchdowns each team. So now we have a 12-12 tie going into halftime. Well, let's see what happens now. The Tigers are going to try a extra point attempt. Ball is kicked, blocked again. I tell you, now this is game. The second half, second quarter is a little more exciting. The first half we started out on a little slow pace, but both teams are moving the ball down the field with the interception and the long pass. It's turned into a heck of a ball game this afternoon.
Yes, offense, they are doing their job, but the kicking game for both teams, I'm very concerned about that, because it was another blocked PAT, this time by Amari Trimble, the running back / linebacker, number 39. Yeah, if this game comes down to a field goal, I'm pretty concerned.
Okay. Looks like the Tigers have moved the ball over to the hash mark. Looks like they may try an onside kick. We only got 14 seconds on the clock.
Yep.
But it appears
Seen this before.
Yeah.
We've seen this before.
So it's flat on the ground like what we saw last week against the Falcons.
We've seen this before.
Kick or whatever. Tigers kick off from their own 40-yard line. Kick it right into the secondary. Ball pops up, but he falls on top of it. 3 seconds right off the clock.
That was Donovan Ashley, the lineman, who falls on it.
9 seconds left to go in this half of play. Score is 12-12. Let's see if there's going to be a Hail Mary, a long play, or they're just going to down the ball. This time for at least one play. Bulldogs take over on the close to their own 40-yard line. Ball snap. He takes a knee. The one takes a knee, and that's going to end the first half of play at 12 Oak Stadium in Hampton, Georgia. The Mundy's Mill Tigers 12. The Mount Zion Bulldogs 12. And you want to sum up this first half for me?
I'm kind of chuckling a little bit at the onside kicks the Tigers have done to start off the game, and then what we just seen to close out the first half, a little watermelon type onside kick. But very concerned about the kicking games, because God forbid the game is going to come down to a field goal, which 2 of the Tigers' PATs was blocked, and the second one again was blocked by Amari Trimble. But the running game for the Bulldogs has been very consistent and has been very productive to give the Bulldogs 2 touchdowns on the ground by Tyreek Brent as well as Kenton Bernardo. And the Tigers, they've been handling business, moving the ball down the field themselves. So this is a game that could come down to the wire.
And guess what? I just happened to take a look over in the south end of the field. The concession stand is open tonight. I mean, the last couple of games we've been, there's no concession stand. So I think it's great now because there are fans at the ball game, and it'd be nice to have a snack. Like we might go down and get something real quick. I had to have some Gatorade or something because
Yeah, see, now the concession stands that you're looking at is, well, hold on. Okay, so the concession stand you're looking at is on the west side of the field for the visitors, which ain't no visitors going on over there. And they have and from our vantage point, we have trees blocking the views from our left-hand side, but it looks like the concession stands are open on the other side.
Yeah, I see the crowd, yeah.
So either somebody was praying or somebody flexed a muscle and said, no, let's feed these people who are coming here tonight. Either way, I say thank you.
Again, folks, we just want to remind you guys this is a crowd is not a really big crowd. From what we were told, that the students and the cheerleaders were given 4 tickets for their parents or their friends, whatever they want to give out to. The season started off with 2 tickets per parent or friends, and but as we continue to go through this social distancing at the stadium is marked off with the 6 feet apart. People are supposed to be wearing masks. I see a few masks out there. But I think one of the biggest things is make sure you're social distance from yourself. I would say that if you come with your family, you're probably sitting together, but anybody else is going to be a pretty good distance apart.
I will hope so.
Yeah.
If you come here and then you're 6 feet apart from your family members, I think that's a little bit too much.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, it is a great night for football. I mean, the weather here's got to be probably in the 70s, what about 70, something like that. I don't have a thermometer in front of me, but
mid-70s or so.
It's a perfect night for football. I mean, you couldn't ask for any more. It's not too cold. It's not too hot. It's not too cold. It's not too hot, and it's just a perfect night for football.
Yes,
Both teams are 0-0, so of course we know by the time the night's over, we're gonna walk away with a winner from one of these teams.
Yeah, somebody's leaving out of here with the win. That's good news. The bad news is somebody's going to leave out of here with a loss.
Yeah, I agree with that, man. So what we're going to do, folks, we're going to take a break right here. We're going to play some music and let you guys stay in the loop and while we take a break and come right back and get something to wear our throats down here. With the end of the first half of play right here at 12 Oak Stadium in Hampton, Georgia, the score is Mount Zion 12, Mundy's Mill 12.
Give it up for Winston-Salem State University. Next up, Lee State.
at all this. All right, we're getting ready to come back to the second half of play right here in Hampton, Georgia, 12 Oak Stadium, with the Mount Zion Bulldogs and the Mundy Tigers take on. Right now, at halftime, the score is 12-12. As the Tigers prepare to kick off on their own 40-yard line with the north end of the field to the Bulldogs.
Give it up, give it up, give it up, ladies and gentlemen. ST, you up next.
The Bulldogs will receive the second kickoff.
The Bulldogs, Tigers kicks it deep, field it close to the 20-yard line. Number 10, Brett takes it back to the right side of the field, a loose tackler. He's running in circles, picks up a few yards.
Yes, Brent Tyreek is doing just about everything there is to do for a football team, with the exception of driving the bus to and from the stadium back to the school. But this is a must-win, more so for the Bulldogs more than it is the Tigers. Just for the simple fact that last year, the Bulldogs, they finished the season 3-7. They finished last season 3-7, and they averaged under 20 points scoring. So you look at the first two games of this season for the Bulldogs, they only score 8 points, but they allow 51. This is a must-win more for the Bulldogs than it is for the Tigers.
1st and 10 as the Bulldogs line up close to their 35-yard line. Brent takes the ball, keeps it safe, runs to the right toward the sideline. He lost yards on that play. He scrambled and ran outside to the right side. Mr. Brent's a good quarterback, and he makes some big plays, but he also sometimes makes some bad decisions and try to take it upon himself to go backwards and hoping he's going to find an opening and lose a lot of yards. So that time he lost about 20-plus yards. Coaches called him to the sideline to talk it over.
Yeah, that's right. And speaking of running, because that has pretty much been the theme of this game for both teams thus far, is running the ball. And thus far, the first 2 games of this season coming into tonight's game, the Bulldogs have rushed for just over 100 yards, 107 to be exact.
Brent's in the shotgun, has 3 receivers to his right, close to this sideline. Calls one back to his left, rolls out to his left, throws, ball is tipped, pass incomplete.
Yeah, that ball was tipped by number 44. That was a huge tip because it was on course to, if anything, be a completed pass. Not quite sure if it would have been a first down though.
3rd down and 20-plus yards for the Bulldogs. Ball sits close to their own 25-yard line. Brent looks, scrambles to the left, scrambles to the right, throws the ball back to number 2, Bernardo, running back. Ball is caught, but still short.
It was a tag team tackle of Cameron Barnes and Anthony Griffin, as most of these players on both teams are playing both sides of the ball.
Still 20-plus yards for a first down. It's going to be 4th down for the Bulldogs. Bernardo Brent, Tariq Brent is going to be the kicker. The punter, rather. He punts it away. He punts a real high ball, but short. Goes out of bounds close to his own 45-yard line. Almost back to the original first down marker.
Okay, I understand he's pretty much, Brent has been a one-man show this evening, but the punting thing, no, sir. That was a rough punt. He did a little rugby-style kick. Nah. Now, because what you did was you put the Tigers in fabulous field position, who actually had a much better season than what the Bulldogs did from a year ago. The Tigers, they finished the season at 5-5, and they scored a little over 23 points per game, and they allowed just under 23 points a game.
Tigers take over 1st and 10 at the Bulldogs' 45-yard line. Bulldogs rushed that one. No gain on the play.
That was Terrell Thomas who just showed up through the line of scrimmage like Batman in the night just to take down the runner.
It appeared that both teams are moving in the wrong direction. The Bulldog was moving backwards. Now the Tigers are moving back. It's going to leave the Tigers with 2nd down and looks like 14. Ball's close to their own midfield. Ball is snapped. Looks downfield, has a receiver. Number 8 wide open. Pass incomplete. I saw a little hand moving down there, but I don't think it was in a position where the officials saw it. But
I wouldn't count that. You know, nowadays, if you breathe on a player, that's a penalty. And depending on if you sneezed on him or not, that will determine if you get kicked out the game. Nah, just let the players play. There was a little bit of hand friskiness, but nonetheless, you know, it was nothing malicious, nothing obvious. And, you know, number 8, the receiver, Harrison Houston, he didn't make the catch. So
Antonio Green, that's a tall receiver, man. He has an advantage a little bit over the players. 2nd down in 14, correction, for the Tigers. Drop back, throws again to number 8, the receiver. Close to a 1st down.
Cameron Collins with the tackle, as well as Latrell Thomas. He was the initial defender on the coverage.
1st down and 10. Ball close to the Bulldogs' 35-yard line. early here. There's a Springer in the shotgun. Has 3 receivers to the left, 1 way out to the right. Hands off to his running back up the middle. Picks up good yard, breaks the tackle. Touchdown. Nice run. He zigzags up the middle to the right to his left. It appeared he's only touched by 1 defender. Walks into the end zone.
That was Jalen Grant. Not only was that a huge running play for the Tigers, but that running play was inside the hash marks the entire time. And so the struggle continues for the Bulldogs.
Looks like the Tigers are going to try for extra point again. This will be their 3rd attempt. The first 2 was blocked, and the third one is going to be good.
Well, look at that. The PAT is good. How much you want to bet that could possibly be the deciding factor in the game?
That's a good possibility. With 8 minutes and 57 seconds left to go in the 3rd quarter play, right here at 12 Oak Stadium, the Tigers takes the lead 19-12 over the Bulldogs, Mount Zion Bulldogs. Ball is kicked. Fielded close to his 20-yard line. The Bulldogs, number 10, takes it around to the left side with his speed, breaks through, going up the middle, breaking tackles, all the way past midfield. Tarek Brent does it all. Quarterback, return man.
Oh yes, you name it. The only thing it doesn't do is drive the bus and wash the uniforms. That was Jalen Grant with the tackle, a saving touchdown, which puts the ball back at midfield. So that's a very significant play for the Tigers, because now the Tigers, they have the ball at midfield, and this is the first drive of the game in which the ball was at midfield. And then you look at last week against Pebblebrook, Tyreek, he's 11 of 17 for 148 yards passing.
1st and 10 for the Bulldogs right at midfield. Tyreek takes and hands off to his running back, breaks tackles, runs up the middle close to the 1st down marker. Nice run. Nice run by
That was Bernardo.
number 2, Bernardo, Keaton Bernardo.
Yet again.
When you get a big run, you could almost imagine who's going to get the ball. 1st down and 10, ball's at the Tigers' 40-yard line. Hand off again. Given to Bernardo. Up the middle.
Perhaps the biggest lineman for the Tigers, Roy Howard. He was the first player I saw snatch up Bernardo, and it was just a matter of trying to get him down. But kudos to the big fella.
It's not easy to bring down Bernardo. He's proven that tonight, and once he gets loose in the open field, he's hard to catch.
Yeah, but you can stop him before he gets loose. See, once he gets loose, then the party's over. But you can catch him at the line of scrimmage like what Howard had just done. You got a chance.
2nd and 10 at the Tigers' 40-yard line for the Bulldogs. Ball is snap. Gives it to Bernardo again up the middle. Hard runner. I tell you, he earned every yard he gained. I mean,
yes.
he carries defenders down the field. And look, he picked up about 3 yards on that one. And still going to be short. It's going to be 3rd and 7 for the Bulldogs.
Oh, yes. It's been a 1-2 punch of the corner of the quarterback and running back. Brent and Bernardo just moving the chain slowly but surely down the field.
Brent in the shotgun. Takes a snap. Hands it off to Bernardo again over to the left side. He goes outside. Running close to the 1st down marker. Looks like he's going to be close to a 1st down.
Hey, you saw that stiff arm, right?
Oh, yeah.
Corey Barnes, among others, was on the carry. Was on the coverage to stop this this running machine known as Kenton Bernardo.
First down and 10 for the Bulldogs, close to their own 30-yard line. Brent looks back to signal Bernardo in the shotgun. 2 receivers to the right, 1 to his left. Man in motion to the right. Ball is snapped. Hands it off again to Bernardo up the middle. Breaks a tackle. They thought they had him. 4, 10, 9, 8. Touchdown. They thought they had him at the 20-yard line. Bernardo spins and takes it into the end zone for a touchdown for the Bulldogs.
Yeah, the linebacker crew thought they have Bernardo, but at this point, if you are the Tigers, you have to know that Bernardo and Brent are going to run the ball. Now, it's up to you to put a spy on them and contain that running game because there's no need to throw the ball in the air because the running game between the two has been very effective. So if you are not stopping Bernardo and neutralizing him, making it just a one-man show for Brent, then I don't know what else is going to work besides that.
The score is 19-19. Looks like the Bulldogs going to go for 2. They haven't completed a extra point conversion tonight. Brent's in the shotgun. Bernardo's behind him. Takes the ball, hands it off to Bernardo to his right. Breaks tackles. Short of the conversion. Well, we still have a tie ball game here. 6 minutes and 27 seconds left to go in the third quarter play here at 12 Oak Stadium. Score is 19-19.
Yeah, that was Corey Barnes and Nada Naby tag teaming Bernardo. But yeah, we got ourselves a 19-19 game. So now I'm questioning. 18-19.
18-19, yeah.
Yeah, we just making all kind of bloopers this evening, folks. But
well, the cameraman can see it better than us because he can zoom in, and we're trying to eyeball it from this distance.
Yeah.
Great job by the cameraman.
Yes, big ups. But yeah, so at this point, you know what you're going to get. Now the question is, what are you going to do to stop the smash and dash running tandem of Brent and Bernardo if you are the Tigers?
Well, I'll tell you, the Bulldogs have a great running game going right now, but also the Tigers have a pretty good passing game. We're looking at the Tigers coming back. I'm pretty sure they're going to break out throwing the ball like they did last time. That's where put them where they are right now. So the Bulldogs will kick off from their own 40-yard line. Short kick is caught by the Tigers at their own 45-yard line. They're going to take it. The good thing about a short kick, if you catch it, it shortens the field, so you don't have to go the whole 100 yards of the field. Now they only got to go 55 yards to score.
And if you don't catch it, you're going to get an earful from somebody on the sideline.
Yeah, that's true. So the Tigers would take over 1st and 10, close to their own 45-yard line. Here are cheerleaders, the Mundy's Mill cheerleaders in the background. Hands it off up the middle. Nice run. Mr. Springer hands it off.
Yes, Springer last week against Pebblebrook, he went 11 of 17 for 148 yards passing. But in the first week against Lovejoy, it was less than stellar by a lot. Went 3 of 9, 21 yards passing.
2nd and 7 for the Tigers. Springer looks down the field, finds a receiver, but it's intercepted. Bulldogs pick it off. Number 17 brings it back across midfield. If he'd had a little more juice on that one, it'd probably been a little different.
And you know what? That was that passing interference guy, Aaron Todd. So because he got an interception, I guess that would outweigh the 3 passing interference he had caused his team in the first half. So now all is forgiven. So now the Tigers, what they must do is, what the Bulldogs must do now is simply get on the board.
It look like the Bulldogs going to run tonight. They're down by 1 point, and they'll take over 1st and 10.
Yes, unless the Tigers can figure something out, I would say continue to run the ball.
Close to the Tigers' 45-yard line. Yeah, I would run the ball too. Still got 5 minutes and 39 seconds left to go in the third quarter play here at 12 Oak Stadium. Brent takes a snap, hands off to Bernardo. Bernardo heads up the middle. Picks up a couple yards on that one.
That was Demario Sewell with the tackle. And that tackle was close to the line of scrimmage.
Keaton Bernardo, the running back, number 2 for the Bulldogs, has put on a show tonight, but the night is not over.
Yes, if he gets past the line of scrimmage, you are in trouble.
2nd down and 8 for the Bulldogs in Tiger territory. Ball is snap. Brent keeps it to himself, takes off the left side, goes out toward the first down and more on the 20 to 10 to 5. Touchdown. Touchdown Bulldogs. I keep peeking when I holler, trying not to holler, but I think I'm picking up everybody's voice along with mine. But it's a nice run. He swings out to his left outside of the defensive end and picks up speed on his way, takes him into the end zone to give the Bulldogs a 24-19 lead in this ball game.
Tyreek Brent literally outran everybody on the field. And that's the second time he has done that in this game.
Absolutely. I remember. This cat gets outside when his speed, he has the speed, is that what they call it, breakaway speed. Once he gets outside, he's hard to catch. I think guys had angles on him, but they just couldn't put hands on him.
Oh, there was angles on him. You had bodies on him, but it by the time they got that angle, Brent, he already had turned the corner and turned upfield.
Brent's in the shotgun. He has 2 receivers to his right and 1 to his left. Mr. Keaton's in the shotgun, and Brent keeps the ball again, goes to his left, swings it outside, but knocked out of bounds. 2-point conversion is going to be denied by the Bulldogs. So with 4 minutes and 38 seconds left to go in the third quarter of play right here, the Bulldogs takes the lead 24-19. At Clayton County Public Schools, both schools are from Clayton County. That's Jonesboro and Mundy's Mill. We're playing at 12 Oak Stadium on a Friday night. Friday night lights, Friday night football. How you look at it? How you see it?
I see the scoring has definitely picked up in the second half from what we've seen in the first half.
I tell you, it's been an exciting ball game. The crowds are starting to get in a little bit more. It was pretty quiet at first, but I noticed now the crowd is starting to pick it up a little bit.
Well, I mean, we live in a day and age where offense is what moves the needle. Like 80% offense and 20% defense. That's typically the perfect ratio for a ball game. Mix it up. I don't mind a low-scoring defensive game.
Bulldogs set the kick off. Short kick into the secondary. Will be picked up by the Tigers. Has an open and breaks through. Breaks a couple of tackles. Get back close to his own 45-yard line.
Yes, that was Evante Montgomery tackling Jalen Grant, who scored a touchdown late in the first half, who picked up the ball and put the ball at midfield.
He broke a couple tackles on the way on that one. That was a nice run. It was a short kick.
It was a very short kick, and, Brent, he's doing it all, including being on special teams, which is kind of concerning because now you gave the Tigers good field position. 1st
and 10 for Mr. Springer. He has 3 receivers to his right. He stops, looks back, throws across the middle to his big receiver, number catch that number.
That was Corey Barnes with the catch. That was number 2. And then he was tackled by Keyshawn Ward, the defensive back for the Tigers.
All the way into the Bulldogs territory. It looks like the Bulldogs 49-yard line. So it's going to be 2nd down and 4 for the Tigers. The Tigers cheerleaders in the background cheering them on. Hands off to the running back up the middle. Hard run. Mr. Seth Gamble on the run picks up about 2 yards. It'll be 3rd down and 2 for the Tigers. Ball close to the Bulldogs 45-yard line. Springer's in the shotgun, hands it off to the running back again, goes up the middle. Looks like he might have enough for a 1st down.
Yes, he does, and that was Seth Gamble reaching just to make sure he gets the 1st down to move the sticks. And once again, the Bulldogs are the Tigers are now in Bulldogs territory.
Ball's close to the Bulldogs 45-yard line. 1st down and 10 for the Tigers. Springer's in the shotgun, has 2 receivers to his right, 2 to his left. Drops back, looks downfield, has no receiver. Right across the middle, ball is caught. The 30, the 20, the 10, the 5. Touchdown, Tigers.
That was Jalen Brown with the touchdown reception. And then Aaron Todd, who has had himself a troubling game this evening. He was the first defender on the coverage. He slipped, ate turf, and then Grant was off to the races.
That was a nice pass, what we call back in the day a pop pass. The Tigers attempt a field goal again.
Here we go again.
For the extra point. Ball is up. It's good. That's 2 for 2 on the extra points for the Tigers. With 2 minutes and 47 seconds left to go in the 3rd quarter play right here at 12 Oak Stadium. The Tigers takes the lead 20, is that 25 or 26?
26 to 24.
26-24. Is that right, cameraman? I'm sorry. I don't have my glasses, close-up glasses on. I have the close-up glasses, but I don't have the distance glasses on. It's a great ball game. A lot of scoring here in the second half play right here. It's getting a little exciting for both teams. It's only a 2-point difference so far. And I think it's the 2 extra points that makes the difference in the game. As the Tigers set to kick off from their own 40-yard line. Deep kick. Ball kick to guess who? Bernardo goes out to his left, breaks the tackle, goes out again. Ball ripped out. Let's see what the call is. I see the head official saying the ball is down. And it appears to be a flag on the field.
Yeah, that was a flag on the field just as Brent caught the pass, or excuse me, caught the ball.
A legal block in the back by the kicking team. So they're going to move this thing back. I'm sorry. A legal block on return team. I'm listening to the announcer.
Well, I mean, they're right next door to us. So
the official hadn't made a signal yet, so I was assuming he was on top of it. Let's see what's going to happen. Ball's going to be moved back to the Bulldogs' 12-yard line, so the Bulldogs will take over 1st and 10 at their own 12. But when you got Mr. Brent at quarterback, anything can happen.
Yes, along with his partner in crime, Kenton Bernardo. even though they're deep in their own territory, best believe they're going to pound the ball.
We haven't seen a lot from the receiving core tonight, but I'm pretty sure it's coming. First down and 10. Brennan has 2 receivers to the right, 1 to his left. Brennan receiving most to the left. Hands off to Bernardo. Off the left side. Looks like you're going to lose a couple of yards on that one. We have a player down on the field. And he's up. That's a little like one of the Tigers. But he's up. Number 40. Is that number 45?
Look like number 75.
Okay. I'm really having a problem seeing tonight, huh?
Yeah, that makes 2 of us. And that's Jeremiah Fan, if what we're seeing is accurate.
Second down and 12 for the Bulldogs. The ball's placed on their 10-yard line. Brennan has 3 receivers to his right and 1 to his left. Man in motion going to the left. Brent fakes the handoff to Bernardo, keeps it, goes outside. Almost broke a tackle, but they gain tackling. Picks up about 4 yards on that play. Third down and 8.
Yeah, that was Mana Naby as well as DeMario Sewell. He came in and backed up Naby because if not, that guy Bernardo, he was about to break free and take it to,
It appears all Bernardo needs is a little light, and he's gone.
Oh yeah. Once he get past the line of scrimmage, if you don't stop him there, you're in trouble.
Again, third down and 2 for the Bulldogs on the close to their 15-yard line. Ball to snap. Bernardo takes itself, goes up the middle. Ball pops out. It's on the ground. A lot of Tigers around it. Looks like it might be Tigers' ball.
Well, the Tigers came up with it, and that's going to be Anthony Griffin. Tyreek Brett, he had the ball, and he got popped. The ball jarred loose, and the Tigers, they get the ball at their 25-yard line. And they got a 2-point lead.
All right, the Tigers take over. It's going to be at the Bulldogs' 25-yard line, 1st and 10. Mr. Springer takes a snap, looks across the middle, got a wide open receiver, number 2. He walks into the end zone untouched. It looks like a mirror of the last play that they ran when the receiver, they threw it to the left side before. This time it's still like the same play to the right side. But it's a nice running play, nice passing play by the Tigers.
Yes, sir, it was. Springer to Barnes connection, and that's not the first time that they have connected to score a touchdown in this game thus far.
As they increase their lead, 32 to 24, as they set up for the extra point. Waiting on the holder to come into the ballgame. I think
Yeah, that's Khalil White, and now the Tigers will call a timeout. Oh, that's not good. See, if it's the first half, you don't have to necessarily guard over your timeouts per se. But when you are in the second half and the game is relatively close, whether you're leading or trailing, you need to tighten up on everything to reserve your timeouts for the late stages of the game, because it looks like the way that this game, the momentum shift that has happened in the second half, it looks like both teams are going to need their timeouts just to come up with the win.
Tigers set for the extra point again. Ball is blocked, but it's tipped, but it's good. It's good by the Tigers.
And I mean barely. That was Dexter Moody, the lineman. He almost got himself one. And really, apparently is the difference between these two teams. The Tigers, they have a legit kicking game, and the Bulldogs, they do not. It's Cohen, and he does not have a leg of accuracy to send the ball down the field. That's kicking the ball off on kickoff as well as punting, and we're now starting to see the repercussions of that.
20 seconds left to go in the third quarter play right here. As the Tigers kick it deep to the Bulldogs. Off field close to the 20-yard line. Quarterback Brent swings it to his left, breaks a tackle, continues to run for a sideline, breaks another tackle, takes it all the way across midfield. I wouldn't expect anything less from Mr. Brent.
Not at this point.
This game's not over. Still 10 seconds left to go in the third quarter play.
And that was Seth Gamble who eventually made the tackle. But I will say, for the most part, the running game for the Bulldogs have slightly, at least slightly, overshadowed the kicking woes that the Bulldogs have in this game.
Brent's in the shotgun. 3 receivers to his right, 2 to his left. Trying to make a comeback. Takes the ball, runs up the middle himself. Quarterback keeper. Right up the middle. Looks like picks up 7 or 8 yards on that play. And that's going to be the end of the third quarter. As the Tigers take the lead of this competition, 33-24 over the Bulldogs. Seems like both teams are returning to the field. This game, I believe, is going to be an exciting finish as we start the fourth quarter. The Tigers, the Bulldogs will take over 1st and 10 right inside of the Tigers' 45-yard line. Ball and snap. Brent keeps it again. Decides to go outside. Breaks the tackle. But there's a flag on the play. Picks up a first down, it appears.
That was Kamari and Collins with the tackle. But it looked like it's going to go back. Told you.
Looks like the Bulldogs are down by 2 touchdowns right now. Or 2 possessions, should I say. Eleven minutes and 50 seconds. Ball's moved all the way back to the Bulldogs' 45-yard line. It's going to be 2nd down and 15. Brett has 3 receivers out to his right, 2 to his left, nobody in the background. He's in the shotgun, takes a snap, runs to his right, looks downfield, throws it, has a receiver at the first down marker, but passes incomplete.
Yeah, looking for Ethan Hunter. He was the intended receiver. Oh no, I stand corrected. Okay, that was Harrison Houston that time.
It's going to be 3rd down and 15 for the Bulldogs. 11-21 in the fourth quarter. Left to go in the fourth quarter. Brent comes out and set with 3 receivers to his right and 2 to his left. Again, no, he's in the shotgun. Takes the snap, rolls to his right again, being chased by one of the Tigers. Finds a receiver. Ball is tipped, but caught by the Tigers, but out of bounds. So to be passed incomplete, be 4th down for the Bulldogs. Looks like the Bulldogs slowed the pace down a little bit. They were going pretty strong at the end of the third quarter.
Just a little bit, and that was Nicholas Hackett, who came around the corner, rushing Tyreek Brent to his far right, and then threw the ball, and then the ball got tipped and caught by a Tiger, but he was well out of bounds.
Timeout on field by the Bulldogs. Bulldogs got to decide whether they're going to go for it on 4th down and 15 at their own 45-yard line, or should they punt it away. Coach is going to talk about it. We'll be right back. I'm going to run a commercial, and we'll come right back after this commercial break.
Would you like to start your own podcast or become a professional photographer? Just have your school or organization contact Georgia Media Network Services, a non-profit corporation, to get started. For more information, contact us at georgiamedianetwork@gmail.com or call 678-900-9840. Call and get your career started today.
Okay, it appears the teams are coming back on the field. 11 minutes and 12 seconds left to go in the fourth quarter play right here at 12 Oak Stadium in Hampton, Georgia, where the Mundy's Mill Tigers has taken the lead 33-24 over the Bulldogs at this time.
And to answer your question, do they go for it or punt it? I would say go for it, but really they're going to punt it.
Brent looked like he's deep for the punt, but he has 3 receivers to his right. He can't punt it, he can throw it. He steps back, he looks, throws it to his right to Keaton. Pass complete, but not enough for a first down.
Yeah, that was Demetrius Johnson, the linebacker, with the tackle near side right before us. And I would say you go for it just for the now granted, you had to get to, like, I want to say the Tigers' 40-yard line in order to get a first down, but the kicking game really has not been effective at all. And so if you're going to go down rolling the dice and throwing the ball down the field.
Tigers have an opportunity to add to their lead. Ball is snapped. Fumble on the play. Looks like he recovered by the Tigers.
Yeah, that was a huge recovery play, but that's the second time this evening we done seen a exchange from the quarterback to the halfback be bobbled, and it hits the turf, becoming a live ball.
Bulldogs needed that one, but it's going to be second down and 12 for the Tigers. Ball on their own 45-yard line. Hands off up the middle to the running back. Takes it about midfield.
He was met immediately by Joshua Brooks. That was snuffed out by, and the running back was number 35.
Mr. Springer getting instructions from the coaches on the sidelines. It's going to be 3rd down and 7 for the Tigers. Ball right in midfield. Ball is snapped. Looks to his right. Has an open receiver. Close to a first down.
Yeah, that was Latrell Thomas with the tackle on number 18, Jamari Stewart. That's his first catch of the evening.
Nice pass by Mr. Dewan Springer. Nine minutes and 42 seconds left to go in the fourth quarter play right here at 12 Oak Stadium. Tigers come to the line of scrimmage. Springer takes the ball, hands off to his running back. Short gain on the play.
Yeah, that was Joshua Brooks again, the leading tackler on that play.
It'll be 2nd down and 9 for the Tigers. Ball close to the 45-yard line of the Bulldogs. Springer takes, throws across the middle, has an open receiver. Ball is caught but dropped. He should have caught that one. They hit him right in his hand.
Yeah, Corey Barnes, he had the ball, then he dropped the ball. Latrell Thomas was the defender on that play.
So it'll be 3rd down, and looks like 9 or 10 for the Tigers. The ball still sits inside of the 45-yard line of the Bulldogs. Snap, fumble, but picked up. Final receiver now throws a long way downfield. Those are out of bounds. Pass incomplete.
Well, Anthony Griffin caught it, but when he caught it, he was on the track field. He was already well on the track, and Latrell Thomas was the defender on the play.
I agree. Well, that just helped the Bulldogs. Several passing plays, the incomplete, stop the clock, slows it down. 8 minutes and 45 seconds left to go in the 4th quarter. Looks like the Tigers going to punt. Ball is snapped. Fakes it, takes off to his left, number 24. Knocked out of bounds by the Bulldogs. Right at the 1st down marker. The yard marker, not the. So the Tigers going to turn it over to the Bulldogs, close to their own 45-yard line.
I think it's safe to say that trick play did not work.
Well, when you got a 33-24 lead, you can take chances like that. I think what the Tigers are trying to do is maintain time of possession so they can end this ballgame. They already have the lead in the ballgame. But now it's time for the Bulldogs to reach in their bag of tricks and get on the board. Like I said, they're two possessions down right now in the ballgame.
We'll just continue to run the ball, like what coach had told me before the game, that to manage what they can control.
Right.
So when the ball is in their hands, they're in the driver's seat, and running the ball has helped them significantly tonight.
First down and 10 Bulldogs. Looks downfield, has a receiver. Pass thrown, pass incomplete.
Yeah, that pass was well short. Looking for Aaron Todd. He was the intended receiver for that.
Be 2nd down and 10 for the Bulldogs. Ball is close to the Bulldogs' 45-yard line. Tariq Brent, the quarterback for the Bulldogs, sits in the shotgun. He has 2 receivers to his right. Correction, 3 receivers to his right, 2 to his left. 2 to his right, 3 to his left, I'm correct. Takes a snap, looks downfield, takes off running to his right, looking downfield, throws back across the field. Pass incomplete. The crowd is hollering for a pass interference call. That was pretty close.
You want to know who was the intended receiver for that? That was Aaron Todd, who had 3 personal fouls against him as a defensive back in the first half. So now all of a sudden, when the tables have turned and it's time for him to get that same courtesy, he doesn't get it.
Right. That was pretty close. So it'll be 3rd down and 10 for the Bulldogs. You got to make a move. 8 minutes and 24 seconds left to go in the 4th quarter play right here at 12 Oak Stadium. Brent has 3 receivers to the left, 2 to his right. In the shotgun, takes a snap. Decides to run up the middle himself, but stopped. Matter of fact, sacked in the backfield.
Nicholas Hackett with the tackle in the.
A decision to make, like last time, they had to make a decision whether they're going to punt it. But we know what happened. Bridge lines up in the as the punter. He is the punter, could be in the punter position, but he still has, see, three receivers to his right, one to his left. Fourth down and looks like 13.
Bulldogs got to get to the Tigers 46.
Ball is snap. He punts it away real high, but a short kick just across midfield, close to the Tigers' 45-yard line.
And that right there is the reason why I say you need, if you're going to go down like that, go down with the offensive play instead of a special teams play, because that was a very bad kick. Really didn't go anywhere, and so now you put the ball, the Tigers would get the ball at the Bulldogs' 49-yard line, and they are up by, 11 points. 9 points.
Two-possession ball game.
That's not good.
First and 10 for the Tigers at the Bulldogs' 49-yard line. Springer hands it off to his running back. He's piled up in the backfield, no gain on the play.
So now the Tigers, they only have one side of the field to work. You give them one side of the field, they have 2 timeouts, the clock is running, and they're leading.
And like I said, right now with the Tigers, the best thing for them to do is continue to run the ball, so they have a lead in this ball game. With 7 minutes and 10 seconds, the clock is continuing to run. Second down, 14 for the Tigers. Ball inside of their own 45-yard line. Ball is snap, handoff to the running back of the middle. Gets close to the original line of scrimmage.
Now, could be wrong, but on the scoreboard it says that the Bulldogs have 3 timeouts left. If I'm not mistaken, they have 2. And so now you have to factor in the timeouts as to when you want to use them, but that's going to determine how many yards the Tigers are going to get running the ball, because best believe, I expect them to run the ball this entire drive.
Third down and 9 for the Tigers. Ball right at midfield. Ball is snapped. He drops it on the ground. Looks like the Bulldogs fell on it. It's going to be a first down, Bulldogs. They needed that break.
When the Bulldogs have put themselves in bad positions, they somehow get things to turn around in their favor, and that's been happening all night, and that's what's happening right here.
This is a must score on this drive for the Bulldogs, like being down 9 points. They really have to score now. With 6 minutes and 20 seconds left to go in the fourth quarter play, as the Tigers lead 33-24. Ball sits right inside of the 50-yard, right at the 50-yard line. Well,
that's 48.
48-yard line. Okay. Again, I'm not wearing my four-way glasses. I'm wearing my close-up glasses so I can see the paper, so I can call the players' names out.
You got to wear multiple glasses like that?
Hey, man. Hey. When you get my age, you got to do what you got to do.
Understood.
First down and 10 for the Bulldogs. Brent's in the shotgun, having his receivers move around a little bit. There's a whistle. Let's see what we got here. Like somebody might have moved. Bulldogs can't continue to shoot themselves in the foot. They got the leg game. Took a little bit too long to get that play in motion. So it's going to be first down and 15. Ball's right at midfield for the Bulldogs. Ball is snap. Brent looks downfield, have a receiver. Throw it long. He's wide open. A little bit too much mustard on that one. I wouldn't say he was wide open, but he was open enough that the ball would have been in the right place. That would have been a touchdown.
Yes, sir. That was number 2 on number 2 activity. Kenton Bernardo was the intended receiver. Corey Barnes was on the coverage right there behind him.
Six minutes and 14 seconds left to go in this competition play. It's going to be second down and 15 for the Bulldogs. Got to get out of that huddle, guys. Can't afford another 5-yard penalty. Brent has 3 receivers to his left, 2 to his right. Takes the snap, looks downfield. He scrambles to his right, being chased by Tigers. Breaks loose, but goes out of bounds right at the down marker. Going to bring up third down.
Yeah, that was the linebacker with the rush.
Third down and 14, close to 15 yards for the Bulldogs. Ball still inside of their own territory, right close to the 50-yard line. Close to the on 50-yard line. 6 minutes and 6 seconds left to go. Think we have an exciting finish tonight?
Yeah, well, I can definitely say that this second half has been far more spicier than what the first half was.
Bulldog really need to score on this drive. Brent has 3 receivers to the right, 2 to his left. 3 to his left, 2 to his right, I'm sorry. Brent's in the shotgun, looks downfield, scrambles, run to his left, looks downfield, has an open guy. Ball is incomplete, but he was popped after that one.
Don't throw a flag. Do not throw a flag on that.
That was a nice hit.
Yes, it was. That was Javon Robinson, the intended receiver.
Right in front of the broadcast booth. Well, again, the Bulldogs has a chance to make a tough decision here. It is 4th down and 14, and they said they're going to call timeout.
And that was Anton Green with the pop.
Brent walks over to the coach to get some instructions. Gotta hurry him run this play. Clock is running. 4th down and 14 for the Bulldogs. This might be their last opportunity to win this game. They're down 2 possessions. Brent's in the shotgun. Takes the snap. Looks downfield. Takes off running. Scrambles up the middle. Hit hard. With more loss. Unable to pick up the first down. Boy, those Tigers were swarming tonight, boy. I think they're feeling it. They smell a victory in the air.
Sir, yes, sir. That was Demetrius Johnson with the final blow to take down Brent, who's been a one-man show practically throughout this game, trying to will his team to their first win of the season.
5:46 left to go in the 4th quarter play right here at 12 Oak Stadium. 1st down and 10 for the Tigers. Tigers have 3 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Coach comes on the field, get the tee off. What is that, football? Officials stop the play temporarily till the coach gets off the field.
But if there's any good news for the Bulldogs, they've scored 8 points coming into today's game. They have 24 tonight.
DeJuan sprints to the ball, drops it, picks it back up again, takes off to the right side of the field. Gonna have a nice loss on that play.
Yes, sir. That was
again, like you said, it was a good thing he picked it up.
Absolutely. That was Jordan Davis as well as Aaron Todd on the tag team tackle.
Well, 2 good things happened for the Tigers on that play. Number 1, he did pick the ball up. Number 2, he kept the clock running. So right now it's 5 minutes and 22 seconds left to go in this competition.
Yeah, that's a win-win in that play, even though they lost yards.
DeJuan Springer's in the shotgun. He had 3 receivers to the right. He drops it again. This time, let's see what happens. The Bulldogs recover. The Bulldogs needed that one, folks. I don't know what happened on the snap there. The ball was snapped in the backfield. He lost about 6 yards, and the Bulldogs recover.
That was Kenton Bernardo who came up on the fumble recovery.
It's a good thing the Bulldogs recovered the fumble, but more important, they got to do something with it. They got to put this thing in the end zone. You still got 5 minutes and 3 seconds left to go in the 4th quarter play. If you intend on winning this ball game, you got to score on this drive.
Like I've stated a possession or 2 ago, the Bulldogs to hurt themselves, but yet they get good situations to come out like this.
1st and 10 for the Bulldogs. Inside the Tigers' 45-yard line. Brent scrambles, has a receiver. Ball passes complete close to the 40-yard line. Bulldogs are moving pretty slow right here.
That was Javon Robinson with the catch,
He didn't get out of bounds, and they're just kind of walking back to the huddle.
and Christian Holloway with the tackle.
Brent walks to the sideline, getting instructions from his coach. 2nd and 5. Ball is close to the Tigers' 35-yard line. Timeout. Bulldogs. With timeout on the field with 4 minutes and 24 seconds left to go in the fourth quarter play right here at 12 Oak Stadium. The Mundy's Mill Tigers 33. Bulldogs 24. Well, Ant, it's been an exciting ball game so far. What do you think the Bulldogs need to do to pull this one off, or can they pull it off?
With the turns that have gone in their favor, they can actually win this game. The question is, can they get down the field and actually get in the end zone and then actually get a 2-point conversion? See, they have to capitalize and execute on offense, because the defense, for the most part, they have held their ground. They have pressured the Tigers in uncompromising positions, and it had turned into the Bulldogs' favor. So I want to say it's the defense that's keeping the Bulldogs in this game. However, even though Bernardo and Brent has been excellent running the ball this evening, the Bulldogs still have to get the ball down the field, and they're currently in the Tigers' territory now.
Both teams return to the field. The Bulldogs take over. 2nd and 5. Right close to the Tigers' 35-yard line. Gives it on the outside to Bernardo. Bernardo takes it, swings outside. Looks like he was getting close to the first-down marker, but he doesn't appear to pick that many yards on that one. It's more important that Bernardo would have got out of bounds, at least save some time on the clock. With 2nd down, going to 3rd down.
Well, look like you got a player down for the Bulldogs right in front of their sideline.
Who was that? It looks like Bernardo. He was the one running the ball. Let's see what happened.
And that was maybe with the tackle on the other end.
Can't make out a number right now. The player's laying down. We aren't really sure.
We believe that is Kenton Bernardo, the running back extraordinaire this evening for the Bulldogs that's on the field currently.
The thing about this play is giving the other teammates the opportunity the coach to talk to the players and put together some strategy for this ball game. We hope the players, the player that's down is okay.
Bernardo.
Always.
Yeah, they're going to need him down the stretch of this game.
Four minutes and 3 seconds left to go in this competition here. It's been an exciting ball game. Started out kind of slow in the first quarter, but as the game progressed in the second half, he's up. That's number 6.
You say 6, I say 5.
Okay, I'll take you. You got better vision than I do.
If that's number 5, that's Latrell Thomas.
3rd down and 3. The Bulldogs need to pick up at least a first down and get the ball out of bounds. The clock is still running. 4 minutes left to go in the game. Bernardo's in motion. Nice stiff arm. It's swamped down.
That was the big fella, Jeremiah Fan. He has made some tackles this evening, including a one-hand tackle to spin around the runner earlier in the game. And we have another Bulldog down.
It's time that the Bulldogs going to have to pull a rabbit out of the hat on this one. I'm telling you, 3 minutes and 35 seconds left to go in the game. They got to go deep, if you ask me, to get on the board quickly as possible. Another onside kick, get the onside kick, and then come back and score quickly after that one.
And by my count, they have one timeout remaining. This injury timeout does not count against them. But like you said, it's 4th down. They got to get it to I want to say the 33-yard line.
Players still down on the field. coaches. We got a trainer out on the field with the player. Well, again, Ant, would you call this a beautiful night for football, weather-wise?
Weather-wise, yeah.
No rain. It rained most of the week and today. All
Yes.
of a sudden, the rain gods decided to give us a little dry weather and cool weather for football. That is Bernardo, our running back.
No, sir, that's number 8. That's Harrison Houston.
That's 8.
Well, it could be 2.
Maybe cameraman to give us a close-up so we can see who it is.
Nah, yep, that's number 8.
Number 8. Okay, great. Brent and his offense return to the field.
Okay. For the last time, I got a good look at it by our cameraman. That's actually number 2, Bernardo.
Okay, all right.
For real.
All right, I was going to get my glasses changed. Brent's in the shotgun. One man in motion. Fakes it. Takes it to the left. Takes it back to the left side of the field. Flag on the play. Ball pops loose. And looks like the Tigers recover. But we got a flag. We haven't made a decision yet.
Yeah, there's a flag down on the field. Either way, it looked like it's going to be all she wrote. And we got another Bulldog that's slow to get up, and that's Tariq Brent, the quarterback.
No.
He's on one knee. He gets back up. It looked like he got a stinger.
No stinger. He did get right up, though. That's a good thing.
Oh, yeah. He might feel that in the morning.
It's going to be a holding call on the offense, so that's going to make that fumble recovery good for the Tigers. So the Tigers going to take over. 1st and 10, close to their own 30-yard line.
Yeah, by my count, 1 timeout left for the Bulldogs.
3 minutes and 15 seconds. I'm assuming that the Tigers are going to come out and run. Because right now, with a 33-24 lead, they don't need to throw the ball. They made mistakes last time and fumbled the ball twice. And right now, they need to just run the ball. Run. What do you think?
I don't see why they would want to throw the ball.
Tigers in the shotgun. Springer's in the shotgun. The flag. Let's see what is this play. That must be an ineligible player. Illegal substitution. That's correct. So the Tigers will lose 5 yards off the jump. The clock hasn't even moved yet. 3 minutes and 15 seconds left to go. Illegal substitution on the play.
And should the Bulldogs get back on the field offensively for quarterback, if Brett can't come back, it's going to be Justin Norrington or Tyler Beach.
First down and 15. Ball is snapped. They're running up the middle. Breaking tackles.
That was Jalen Grant on the carry, and that was Amari Trimble with the tackle. More so body slam.
Nice run. Picks up about 10 yards on that one. We'll make it a 2nd and 5 or 2nd and 6 for the Tigers as the clock continues to run. 2 minutes and 48 seconds left to go in this 4th quarter play. Second down. Springs in the shotgun, takes the ball, fakes to the middle, hands off to the running back. He breaks a couple tackles. Gets back to the original line of scrimmage, close to it anyway. 2 minutes, 20 seconds, and the clock continued to run.
That was Donovan Ashley, among others, on the tackle.
One minute, 57 seconds, 2nd down and 5. Ball is fumbled again on the ground. Looks like it's still on the ground. It was picked up touched by a couple of Bulldogs. And in the end, the Bulldogs recover again. This is the 3rd time the Tigers have fumbled and the Bulldogs has recovered.
Harrison Houston. For real. He's the real number 8 I'm talking about here. For real. And like I've been saying throughout this 4th quarter, the Tigers It's almost as if they're saying to the Bulldogs, here, take this game and win it. Kind of like what we saw, Sunday. In a very particular game that kind of had people in a salty mood around these parts of the country.
Wow. Brent comes out again in the fourth quarter with another opportunity to take his team into the end zone and possibly kick an onside kick and try to win this ball game. We got 1 minute and 48 seconds left to go in this competition. They're down 33-24. Brent has 3 receivers out to the left, 2 to his right. He's in the shotgun in the backfield. Wait a minute, bringing number 45 in the backfield, looks like a blocking back. Takes the ball, looks downfield. He scrambles, goes to his right, has an open field, cuts back, scrambles again, comes back across the left side of the field. Breaks the tackle, but looks like he just got back to the original line of scrimmage. Brent's got to get rid of that ball.
Yes, sir.
In a situation like that, when you know you're already down and the clock is against you, you got to get the ball out of your hand and get it out of bounds to stop the clock.
Yep, that was linebacker Cameron Barnes with the tackle as the Bulldogs go no huddle. 2nd
and 10 for the Bulldogs, close to the Tigers' 35-yard line. He's sitting back in the backfield. Brent's looking around. He's looking. He's scrambling to his right, looking downfield, close to the first down marker, but he skips out of bounds. That was a good move by Brent on that play.
Yes, it was. The defensive back, Nabi, rushed out Brent. And Brent is a little bit gimpy. Getting back on the field.
Coach is talking to the receivers on the sideline. Where's Brent? There he is.
Yeah, he's a little bit gimpy.
3rd and 4. But you got to suck it up in this kind of game like this. When you get down two scores and you got a little time on the clock, you got to get rid of that ball. Ball's at the Tigers' 20-yard line. 3rd and 3, 3rd and 4. Brent's in the back end, takes a shot, throws it, pass incomplete, almost intercepted at the 15-yard line.
Javon Robinson was the intended receiver, but that was probably the most dangerous pass Brent has thrown all season, and he is, speaking of Brent, he is showing discomfort heading back to the sideline, speaking with his head coach.
Well, this is the biggest play for the Bulldogs all night. It's 4th down and 4.
It looked like the throwing is bothering Brent. He is definitely showing some discomfort.
Well, this is the opportunity for him to show up and show out. Because if you don't do it here, you got 1 minute on the clock. They definitely got to get a first down, if not a touchdown. Brent looks downfield, throws it deep downfield, has an open receiver, throws it up. There's a flag. I think that flag's going to save him for tonight.
I saw it. I saw the sideline judge reach into wherever he keeps his popcorn and I'm like, yep, throws out the flag.
Brent's down. He's kneeling down. You can tell he's definitely look like he's in pain.
Yeah, he hasn't been right for the last 2 plays.
So the Bulldogs, after that penalty, a 15-yard penalty, gives them a first down. They have first down and 10 at the Tigers' 10-yard line.
And Bernardo has yet to be on the field for this drive.
52 seconds left to go in this game. Brent takes the ball, looks downfield, takes it up the middle, runs to his right, scrambles around, gets back to the original line of scrimmage.
Looked like that was Nabi on the tackle.
He really got to get that ball out of bounds. Bulldog had another timeout. The clock shows they have 2 timeouts each.
If the Bulldogs just called a timeout, by my count, that is their last timeout.
Okay.
I could be wrong. I've been wrong about a lot of things in my life, so.
43 seconds left to go, folks. It's an exciting ball game. We don't have a big crowd tonight, but we have enough. The Tigers are holding on with a 33-24 lead right now in the fourth quarter, with only 43 seconds left to go in this game. Do you think the Bulldogs can get the ball in the end zone? They've had several opportunities.
I think the defense can.
Think defense can?
Yeah, because they are doing something to cause the Tigers to malfunction and just cough up the ball. They have been doing that really throughout the fourth quarter.
The Tigers defense.
Correct. Yes. Yes.
So the Tigers defense is going to allow the Bulldogs to get into the end zone. What
No,
you're
no,
saying?
no, no, no. Let's flip that around. The Tigers' offense, they have been the ones that has been slipping and sliding throughout this fourth quarter, giving the Bulldogs life, like this situation we have before us now.
For second down and 10. Well, actually, the ball is at the 11-yard line. Ball is snapped. Brent looks downfield, takes snap, finds a receiver, throws it, pass incomplete. That's what he should have done earlier.
Yep, that was
If you don't sign a receiver, you got to save that clock. You only got 38 seconds. That clock is continuing counting.
Yep, that was Javon Robinson, the intended receiver in Navy, on the coverage.
Well, like something we said earlier in the ball game, the team that has less penalties is probably going to win this ball game, and it's looking sort of like that now. Well, I take that back. I think the Tigers have several penalties
And turnovers.
and turnovers. Third down and 10 for the Bulldogs. Brent steps back, looks downfield, takes off running, being chased down, throws it, has a receiver in the end zone, pass incomplete, thrown out of bounds. So the play that's going to determine if they score or not is this, the 4th down and 9.
Yeah,
Or 4th and 10, rather.
Yeah, that was Nicholas Hackett, number 51, the defensive lineman. He was hot on the trail for Brent. Dove for it, but ate turf and missed.
4th and 10, the ball on the Tigers' 11-yard line. 30 seconds left to go in this game. Brent gingerly skips back onto the field after getting instruction from the coach. Ball is snapped. Brent looks downfield, has a receiver, throws it up for catch. Ball is knocked down. Pass incomplete.
That was Aaron Todd. He was the intended receiver. On the coverage was Anton Green. And Todd was actually looking for yet another penalty, but did not get it yet. He got called 3 times for defensive passing interference in the first half. So he may be salty headed home this evening.
Looks like that's going to do it for the Bulldogs tonight. They've had several opportunities to score.
And the Bulldogs' struggling woes continue as they will now fall to 0-3. Next week they play Luella, who came into this week 2-1.
Mr. Springer under center. Ball is snapped. He nails it down. Victory formation, we call it. 20 seconds and counting. I don't think they got to run another play after this one.
As for the Monday Mills Tigers, they will improve to 1-2, getting their first win of the season. Next week, they will do football battle against Woodward Academy, who came into this week 0-2.
And that's going to be the ball game, folks. The final score, Monday's Mill Tigers 33, Mount Zion Bulldogs 24 at 12 Oak Stadium in Hampton, Georgia. Clayton County Schools, Public Schools broadcast. I'm DJ Thomas and Anthony. We're going to say good night from 12 Oak Stadium. Last time they almost locked us in, huh?
Yeah, so we got to break down everything like 6 seconds ago.
Go ahead. Oh, you said, I thought you. So we got to break down. They clear out the stadium pretty quick here now.
Yeah, we got to break down because there's, a light crowd on hand in terms of people trying to get out and things like that. That's not going to be a thing. The Bulldogs, they had opportunities. Like some of them the Tigers been trying to give the Bulldogs this game, but Bulldogs, they got to figure it out. So.
Well, I mean, both teams hadn't won a game before, and like I said, we said at the beginning of the ball game, it was a plus for one of the teams. And luckily, the Tigers stumbled several times in the fourth quarter. They fumbled the ball, but the Tigers defense stepped up with the Tigers offense gave up the ball. But in the end, the Tigers prevail with the victory over the Bulldogs tonight. So,
And James Buster Davis, head coach for the Bulldogs, he got to go back to the drawing board again and try and get something figured out because this is now a 3-game losing streak for the Bulldogs, and he do not want to start off their season now 3 games under 500 like what they did.
well, folks, I want to thank you again. Next week, we're going to probably be in Griffin, Georgia, maybe the Lovejoy game. Not really sure right now, but I want to thank you guys for listening to the show tonight. Part of the Georgia Media Network Services, a non-profit organization. Make sure you tell your friend in cooperation with the Mike is Hot on this broadcast tonight. Thank you again, and we'll see you next week.